If you're interested in taking a look into the future, into what's being built for Seattle new construction, follow along as I detail a few things that's really important here. So the first thing I want to highlight is the surge in multifamily construction, followed by a decline in permits. So anything 1 to 4 units is categorized as residential. Anything 5+ units is considered commercial or multifamily. So remember that when I talk about this. So first of all, King County experienced a huge increase in multifamily completions, averaging about roughly 8,700 units annually in the 2010s, even surpassing 16,000 in 2024. However, new housing permits have decreased by 39% since 2020, indicating a potential slowdown in future housing availability. Now, a big reason for this is the shift from small scale to large scale rentals. Seattle's rental market is transitioning from smaller individually owned properties to larger institutional developments. I would argue this is something nobody wants, whether it's on the tenant side or the landlord side. But between 20 and 24, small rental properties, again, 1 to 4 units, declined by 22%, while large complexes, which are 200 or more units, increased by 55%. This is mainly attributed to rising costs and higher mortgage rates impacting small landlords. Again, in general, I think whether it's the tenant or from the landlord side, the more mom and pop landlords that get out of the landlord business, sell their homes that aren't being bought by new landlords that are going to rent those out, that's going to cut into that circulation, decreasing that pool or that share of rentals, decreasing the amount of availability, increasing the amount of competition and rent. Now, the divergence between high completion rates and declining permits does suggest a forthcoming reduction in new housing. So while we had this boom over the past number of years, the lack of new starts suggests that this is going to start drying up, and we'll probably see that in future years. Now, the good news, as we all know, is that Washington State has enacted new laws to facilitate housing construction, easing historic landmark processes and reducing parking requirements for new developments. This is mostly known within the House Bill 1110, which is still being worked on as I'm filming this right now, but largely encompassing everything I just talked about there, which aims to address the housing shortage and improve overall affordability. Again, I think this is going to be seen and more impactful on the rental side than what we see on the purchasing side. In conclusion, either way, more of anything when it comes to housing is beneficial, but we really have to look at what's being created, which is a bunch of big buildings containing multi-apartments and missing that really key middle housing ground, which again, this 1110 bill is there to provide some relief for, but it's not exactly everything that we need. So what do you think? In addition to anything here, is there anything else that can be done to help ease this housing crisis we find ourselves in?